Festival, and I am very excited for this interview right now. We are talking about the short film Fight Like a Mother. And here to talk about it, we have the writer director in the room, we have the star in the room, we have the producer, the casting director. We got some amazing people in this room. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So let's start us off with you, Megan.
Yeah, I'm Megan Phillips, and I'm the writer-director.
Awesome. Anyone who wants to join next?
I'm Ashley Platts. I'm a producer and the lead.
Hello, my name is Michelle Lewitt, and I was the casting director and producer on the film.
Love it. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today and taking some time out of your day to talk to us about the film, and congratulations on your acceptance.
Thank you.
So exciting. So let's start us off by having the writer and director, Michelle, tell us all a little bit about Fight Like a Mother.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, Michelle,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I said
you're
Megan.
totally fine. No problem. No problem. Yeah, no, it's a project about an amateur boxer making her comeback after having a baby. And I pretty much use this process to really look within myself and figure out, am I really capable of doing it all, and kind of face my fears of motherhood straight on. So what better way than throw it all into a project?
Wow, I love it. And reading in your bio, I saw that you were a former athlete. And like you said, you kind of grappled with what's going on with yourself. So was that the inspiration for writing Fight Like a Mother? Was it very personal for you?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, definitely coming from an athlete's perspective, and just like a working woman who is trying to figure out how to like do it all in this world. Like, how do we have a career and give it our all, but also have a family and sustain that, but then through the lens of a boxer. And, as an athlete, like our bodies, our strength, our physicality is so important to us. So going through that journey and coming out on the other side is mental as much as physical. And so I wanted to kind of dive into that world and figure out, am I capable of doing that too?
Oh man, it's so empowering. I mean, that opening shot, I was just like, I know I'm going to like this film. I know I'm going to feel inspired. I'm going to want to work out after this. And then I saw Ashley's face, and Garden State Film Festival loves Ashley. You were our 2020 Rising Star Award winner. You're super talented. Ever since I met you, I saw you. I see you here and there on I'll be watching Netflix. I saw New Girl. I saw you on, I'm just like, oh, you're killing it. And I want to know how you got involved in this project. How do we cast Ashley? You were also producer. Tell me how you got onto this.
That is a great question. I have known Michelle Lewitt, who is mother, family person, career person who does do all of it. She does all the things. I've known her for years, and she knows that I am a former athlete and that my dream roles involve lots of commitment physically and emotionally. And she got the script from Megan and was like, hey, do you want to read something? And within I want to say the first page, I recognized my own insecurities about career and parenthood. I was like, oh man, this hits a little close to home. And then the idea of getting to learn a new skill as far as boxing goes was just I was like, yes, please. Yes, please. I would like to do this. So yeah, it's Michelle's fault.
Oh man. And I definitely want to talk to you about learning that new skill in boxing, but let me bring it over to Michelle. You were the executive producer on this, the casting director. What about Ashley? And what about this project attracted you to this project? And then what about Ashley? Were you like, this is the person for the role?
Oh yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it went. I mean, look, all three of us are former athletes. I mean, Megan not only played D1 ball, but she played pro. Ashley was a track star, and I played basketball my whole life. So we have that in common. But for me personally, not only having the athletic background, but being a mom myself to two children and having several jobs and whatnot, I really related to trying to juggle and balance everything. And in not only my friendship with Ashley, but being very familiar with her capabilities as a very talented performer, when I read it, there was no one else in my head for this role. Literally, probably by the second page, maybe third, I was like, well, Ashley Platts is Willa. I mean, this is like a no-brainer. I'm pretty sure when I called Megan back, I was like, I have your Willa. I mean, feel free to audition whoever you want. We'll take a look. But I have your Willa. And I believe when I called Ash, I was like, hey, so when I read this, I couldn't see any other human in this role besides you. So please take a look at it. And that's pretty much how it went. I mean, with casting, a lot of it is actually intuition. I know that's kind of not a lot of people understand that about casting. Sometimes we just know who can embody and breathe life into that character on screen, and this was one of those moments where it was just so clear in my head that Ashley was the choice for this.
Wow, I love that. Thank you. Because I definitely wanted to ask you, what is that like most important thing as a casting director? And I love that you say intuition. That's so great. And Megan, I want to talk to you. I mean, I read your bio. You're you're a successful writer, successful director. I see that you're actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Can we talk about you're working on a project for an upcoming film on Netflix? Are we allowed to?
We can talk about it.
Yeah, okay, amazing. So what about film do you love? Like, what stories do you like to tell? Is it in this genre or is this new for you?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously as an athlete, I feel like I have so many stories built in within me that I need to tell. So, I mean, I love to tell stories about women athletes, obviously, but also just in general, I kind of lean in towards women coming into their power, whatever that might look like, and going through some type of identity transformation, and really just kind of discovering themselves beyond maybe the bubble that they've been put in. And so, yeah, that's kind of something I lean in on. And I obviously like lean in on stuff that's very personal. I kind of look inward and see like, what am I struggling with? What could I do better? What am I shameful of even? And like kind of build characters off of those bits and kind of use the process like therapy.
Wow, I love that. And Ashley, you said that when you saw this role, you know, there's a lot of parts that you identified with. So I'd love to ask you, I mean, you're in a competitive business being an actor. Michelle mentioned that you were a former track star. Did you put a lot of yourself into this role, or did you feel like
Oh my God.
it was completely different than who you are?
I feel like I feel, oh God, did I put a lot of myself? I feel like this was, there were moments where there were very blurred lines between Willow and myself, especially in the ring, weirdly.
Wow.
I certainly am a very competitive human to begin with. And then, yeah, acting, a little bit competitive. And then you put me in a movie where I get to be competitive, really with myself, because you know it's stunts and it's timing and it's where's the camera while we're making these hits to each other. Me and Whitney, the fighter I fight against, it was so humbling, and it made me have a deep appreciation for every single fight scene I've ever seen, especially like long shots, because the ambition on this short is like not to be understated. The like long solo shots in the ring that we took that were just like so they took such precision to get them right, and it was not just camera, it was really like all of us. And to say, I mean, we all know filmmaking is a team effort, but like on another level when you're dealing with stuff like this, it was really awesome.
Wow. And what went into producing? You all produced this. What went into producing this film? Because you talk about the ring, you talk about like having to balance with the fighting and filming that. What was producing Fight Like a Mother like?
Problem solving daily.
It's really just
bringing together all of our resources collectively to contribute.
Yeah, exactly. They nailed it. It's just, you know, when you do projects like these, they're a labor of love and there's not always enough, there's never enough funds. And so we all had to really lean on each other and our networks and just kind of find whatever we could to make it happen. And I had certain things that were incredibly important to me that I was like, I'm not sacrificing. Like, I really wanted a real ring. And like, it's not cheap to get a real ring. But you know, I was like, I'm going to make this happen. So let me rewrite this scene so this could happen at an easier location to save money on. So we were just really strategic in the process, and kept trying to hold on to the things that mattered a lot.
Wow. So you guys found that ring. You had a baby on set. It sounds like, you were problem solving. I want to know, what was the most challenging part of this process?
The baby was the easiest part, to be completely honest. And like, working with children is usually a nightmare. And that baby was so good. There are moments where the baby cries, and this baby was like, nah, I'm not gonna cry. I'm just
we had to figure out ways to make the baby actually cry because it was so well behaved. And we're like, how do we make the baby cry without being ridiculous? Obviously, we had like a teacher on set, and like there are strategies to make that happen. But like, the baby was the easiest part when you would think that the baby would cause.
Can we shout out this baby? Who is this baby? Are we allowed to?
Michelle
Michelle, you found the baby? You cast the baby? Wow.
Baby,
okay, where did you
Rocco.
find this extremely well-behaved baby?
He was amazing.
It was the hardest thing.
Yeah, the most challenging part of this process.
I personally can't isolate one thing. We had multiple challenges, which ultimately, in my opinion, these two wonderful women can speak about their perspective. But because we did overcome so many challenges and put out so many fires, it's a sweeter sort of victory, so to speak, to have achieved what we did achieve.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say my training.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about that. What went into training for playing Willa?
We worked with Lobos Gym, which is a boxing gym here in Los Angeles. And man, I had done kickboxing as like a workout when that was trendy in like the early 2000s, but I had never like really boxed. And, I'm from New Jersey, so we have like a bit of an aggressive nature to us naturally. It came to me faster than I expected. And it really just became about making it look believable and selling that I had been doing this as an amateur boxer for as long as Willa has. And for me, the biggest challenge of it all was a month into training, I caught COVID. And my muscle mass and like energy and body just like diminished, and everything I had worked for was gone. And I basically had to start over physically, but I understood technically what I was doing. So it was a little easier the second start. And now I had like 2 weeks behind me that I had to catch up on. So doing 2-a-days at the gym, I know for like most Jersey guys is like so fun and like their afternoon. But for me, I was like, oh my God, do I have a life outside this gym? All I'm doing is working out. But luckily, the team that I worked with at the gym was awesome. And they really put me in a great position to feel like I was super confident walking into that ring on shoot day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you killed it.
Let's shout out Eddie Arazola, who is the owner and head trainer at Lobos Gym, because he was absolutely incredible. And he had a fun little cameo role in the film as well as one of Ashley's trainers or Willa's trainers. So we really appreciate him, because we know that Ashley would not have gotten to the place that she would have physically and just understanding the life of a boxer without him.
Oh man, I love that. And I really want to ask you guys before we end this interview, in the story, without giving anything away, our main character basically makes a choice that changes her whole life. It is a choice. So I'm wondering if anyone is willing to share, have you guys have any life choices, life decisions that changed your life?
I mean,
it's a big question, and I know it's personal.
Go ahead.
This is easy for me, because once I had children, I had the decision to make of whether I wanted to stay in the studio film world, which is a pretty lucrative world, or to pivot to casting independent films solely so that I could have time with my family. And I chose time with my family. And as a result, I have found that my talents as a casting director actually flourish even better within the independent film space. So I'm very grateful for that.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing, Michelle. I know being a mother, I mean, I'm not a mother personally, but I know it's like the most underrated job and takes the most work. and not a lot of credibility, not a lot of like validation and appreciation as they should get. Anyone else willing to share any life-changing decisions?
I mean, mine is in the same vein as the movie, I guess. I was doing track and field in high school. I was competing nationally my junior and senior year for high jump, of all things. And I think it was my senior year, I had a same day national competition and an acting competition, which my acting teacher in high school had just thrown me into without me being actually interested. And that morning I went to the Armory in New York City to high jump. And I was so concerned with what was going to happen that afternoon at the acting competition that I totally blew all of the track and field work. I was just not present. And that day at the competition at Montclair State, I was like killing it left and right with acting stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing with my life? Do I want to like be an athlete and have maybe another 5, 6, 7 years of my life be that? Or do I want to pivot to this thing that I am good at and have no awareness that I'm good at, and see where that could take me for the rest of my life? And here we are.
Shout out to that acting teacher that threw you in that competition, because they made a good decision right there. Wow. And Megan, anything you want to add?
Totally. I mean, I guess I'll touch upon a different one. I also had the athlete one of like knowing when to like hang up, the shoes and move into my next phase, my next career. But I think a more recent one is that I got married this last year. But then I also got literally the same weekend a job that took me to London, where I've been for the last almost 5 months. So yeah, it was a huge decision to make, it to have to like literally leave my new husband for pretty much our whole first year of marriage to work on a project. So yeah, that was really challenging, but at the same time, I mean, he was so supportive, and it was something that was perfect for my career at the moment. And while it's hard, I'm going through my bouts of homesickness. It's been incredible, and it's made us stronger as well. So it's been well worth it.
I love it. Thank you guys all so much for sharing. Megan, congratulations. And I just love that everyone like kind of made a decision for themselves and followed their intuition, like Michelle mentioned, and is, doing what they love to do. So I'm just so inspired from this interview. And before we sign off, I'd love to know why you submitted to Garden State Film Festival, and how does it feel to be accepted?
We had to bring Ashley home. Bring our girl home.
Because it's my favorite film festival ever, because it's like, it's a constant party, and it's so much fun, and it's like women run, and everything involved with it is just, everyone's so passionate. It's so welcoming, and they make you feel like your stories are valid and your stories are worth being told. It's an incredible group of people.
I love that. Ashley, thank you so much for telling them to bring this to Garden State Film Festival. I'm so happy to have you back. Will any of you be will any of you be at the screening?
I'll be there, Sophia.
Okay, awesome. So you'll be representing us, Michelle. You won't make it, Megan. You might be in London.
I'll be in London.
All right. So Ashley, you'll be
down the Jersey Shore in March. Come on, it's not cold.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm really excited to see you there again, Ashley. I'm sure everyone's going to be like, oh my God, that's the Rising Star Award winner. So thank you so much for bringing Fight Like a Mother to us. Thank you for making the film. Congratulations on a successful film and a successful career to all of you. Let me tell everybody watching how you can see Fight Like a Mother. It will be screening Saturday, March 25th at the Asbury Hotel in Asbury Hall, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. It's going to be an awesome block. That's like the perfect time to screen this. So I'm really excited for everyone to watch this film. Thank you guys again for taking some time out to talk to us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.